If you've ever said, I know what I do, but I can't seem to explain it, or my niche keeps changing, this video is probably going to annoy you, but in a good way. Because honestly, the online industry has niching so convoluted, so way too structured, to be honest. And it's not going to work for everybody. So we have to take a step back and look at it from an energetic standpoint, human design perspective, in order to really understand how you are going to niche. Okay? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how your type in human design is meant to create a unique niche and why following all the niche advice is honestly quietly sabotaging you. This is going to be a good one. Guys, I'm really excited. So buckle up. If we haven't met, I am Rachel and I use human design and messaging to create a magnetic message that draws people in, allows you to show up as yourself in your business, in your life, all of the things. So this channel is all about human design, messaging, energetics, the fun stuff. So let's start by explaining what a unique selling point is, a USP, what you're known for. It has so many different names, but it all is the same thing. It's your core message. It's the thing that you're known for. It's the thing that anchors your message in all the things. It dictates who your ideal client is. It dictates what you offer. It dictates the structure of your business, all of it. So if you don't know what you're known for, if you don't know what your niche is, what your unique selling point is, everything else is going to feel 1,000 times more complicated and lead you down a path that doesn't really go anywhere, right? And that's probably the frustration you're bumping up against, that if your content's not working, if you're getting burnt out, if offers aren't really working, it's because you probably haven't really defined what your unique selling point is, okay? This video is going to help you do that, right? So let's get into it. I want to go through each type first and foremost, and I want you to stay to the end because it's really important to understand how all the 5 types work. And you might even see yourself in another type, but it's important to see how we all are uniquely different and how we create a unique selling point differently, okay? So each one, I'm going to give you a 3-part thing on what your niche is really built on, as well as what you might be getting wrong and what your USP really sounds like, and create a one-liner, if you will. I kind of hate one-liners, but sometimes it's helpful to visualize and get your USP working the right way. So we're going to start with generators. I love generators. That's the majority of the population. Gens and mani-gens, the sacral beings of the world. Your niche is around the thing that you've mastered. It is the thing that you do on repeat. Sometimes this looks like very specific, right? If you think about the people that are really good at one specific thing. My best friend is a generator and she's an architect and she's so good at what she does. That's the mastery. You do the thing over and over and over and over, and that's really what you're known for. So thinking about what is the process that you walk clients through over and over and over. Every time you do it, it gets better and better and better. These are the online coaches that teach launching because they've done it over and over and over and they're really freaking good at it. Or they teach ads because they've done it over and over and over and they're really good at it. The clarity comes from the doing. So oftentimes, if a generator is new in the online coaching space, they haven't figured out what they're good at yet, right? They haven't done the thing over and over and over. And then they try and pick a niche, but they haven't figured out what they're good at yet. So if you're new, if you haven't been in the online coaching space for very long and you're not really sure what your niche is yet, experiment a little bit. Allow yourself to go, what do I feel like I could be really good at? Or maybe I helped one person through this process. That was a lot of fun. Let's do it again and see what happens. Allow yourself that experimental phase to work out what is the thing that you're good at. What is that mastery? The common mistake, though, for generators is trying to sound visionary or future and trying to be I'm going to take you here and focusing really hard on the transformation before they know what their process is. So I know coaching gurus or the marketing messaging for generators or for the industry in general is talk about the transformation. Generators will get stuck and going, I don't really know what the transformation is, or too scared to get specific about the transformation because they haven't defined the process. They haven't really understood what they're known for yet. And you can't get to a transformation until you know what you're known for. Does that make sense? Like, you don't get locked into trying to be future orientated, visionary, transformational. You don't know what your process is yet. Okay. Experiment first in learning what do you want to be known for. And the other one is picking that niche too early. Another thing that I see generators doing is that they pick that niche and then they almost pigeonhole themselves into it where they get bored with it. And they're like, I'm so over this. I'm done, right? I want you to be experimental in the beginning. If you didn't, asking yourself those hard questions. Is this really what I want to be known for? Did I jump into something before I was really, truly ready? Or is there something that's shifting within my methodology, right? We all grow, we all learn, right? So is there something shifting in my methodology that I need to bring in? An example would be, I'm known for helping blank because I've spent years refining it. Or I'm known for my mastery in blank. Okay. Those are kind of the examples to help you carve out something in your USP. All right. Now, manifesting generators are different, but similar. Okay. Manifesting generators, I'm a mani gen, and I can tell you that niching has felt really, really hard until I worked with my human design and stopped trying to do it the way that everyone was telling me to do it. Okay. Many gens are not linear. We are not the like, okay, we're going to do this thing over and over and over and over. That kind of actually sounds like death. That, like, having to do the same job for 40 years and then retire literally made me want to throw up in my mouth. I cannot bring myself to do that. Or my bestie, the generator, is like, I could do this all day, every day. We are not linear beings. So our niche looks messy sometimes. It looks like, what are you doing? Especially in the beginning, because we're so multi-passionate. We're pulling in all these different things. And until we can really explore enough to see what dots we want to connect, that's what we do best, is we connect dots, human design and messaging, connecting the dots of things that are so incredibly fascinating to us, right? Messaging is fascinating to me. Human design is fascinating to me. I could go in on both. And that's actually the common mistake that I see with many gens, is feeling like you have to pick the lane. Are you messaging? Are you human design? Da, 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 and going back and forth and back and forth. And really what you're doing is bringing them together. That's the magic in your sweet spot. And what you're known for is bringing those two things together and finding that new, like, alternative way of doing things. That's your genius. Okay. So you don't have to pick. I will say, though, that I am multi-passionate in lots of different things. It's not all my passions coming to one thing. It could be I would say two or three things that come together. These are things that you're like, I could go talk for days and days on one topic, but then I'm going to get bored and I want to go talk about this topic. And then I get bored and I want to go talk about this topic. And how are those coming together? What is that thread that brings them together? Okay. So your US reframing is, I'm helping people move through from blank to blank by combining blank, blank, and blank, or blank and blank. I blend these two things together in order to help clients do what? That's the through line of the Mani Gen. Now, projectors are going to be different. Projectors, I see a lot of times they're trying to niche like either a generator or sometimes the Mani Gen. Like, they almost think that they're a Mani Gen. They're going to bring all these different things in, and you might. But the biggest piece that I want you to understand if you're a projector is that your niche is embodied. This is why it's so important for projectors to teach what they already know. If a projector comes to me and they're like, I am really struggling to talk about what I do, I'm like, okay, have you done it in your life? And more often than not, they have. But if they haven't, I'm like, that's the problem. You haven't truly done it for yourself yet. And that's what's actually blocking you. You can't see. You are the seer. You're the guide. You see different perspectives. If you haven't really done it yourself, then it's going to be really hard to guide people through it if you haven't done it, right? So your niche is around the system. You have created a way of healing, way of achieving, a way of doing something that is really unique to you. It's similar in many gens that it can look like lots of different things coming together, but it is a non-linear process. Okay. Generators have a methodology that is like step 1, step 2, step 3. You're going to do it in a linear process. Projectors have a system of getting the transformation. That is what you're known for. The system is not a linear process. So it's like a tabletop, is how I like to describe it. Your transformation is a tabletop. Underneath are 3 legs, these 3 pillars. You have to understand the 3 pillars, but you're not going to do it in any particular order. You're maybe going to go from this leg to this leg and then back to this leg and then over here. And right, there's not a linear process to this transformation. That's what a projector is known for. So if you haven't really understood your system, it's going to be really hard to teach it to other people. So doing it in your own life, whether that's healing for yourself, achieving something for yourself, that's going to be your sweet spot because you can see and guide people through the system, through the challenges. So a common mistake I see with projectors is trying to overprove. They want proof that this system works, or they can't sell it, right? And that's not the whole point. Like, you have to do it for yourself. You are the proof. You are the proof that it works. And then teaching instead of guiding. And this can be really, really hard because projectors want so badly to help people. They want to help everyone. They really, really do. And so they're trying to teach people. And teaching will get you in the friend zone. People won't want to pay you, or they'll be like, not for me. You want people to open up and give you the invitation to coach them, to guide them. So start working on guiding, which looks like, I have answers. If you want to solve this problem, here, I have the solution. Not necessarily, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this. That's like the projector, like going into someone else's aura without an invitation. It's not going to end well. So your USP framing is, I see where people get stuck in blank because I've done it myself. I've been there myself, and I help them move through it with less effort. Now, manifestors, the most misunderstood of the 5 types. And I know manifestors can probably be like, yep, that's me. No one understands me. I feel like we all kind of feel that way. We all feel a little bit misunderstood, but manifestors especially. So manifestors are the visionaries. You are the initiators. You are the one that comes out and says, here is what is possible when we do blah, blah, blah. You are holding this vision for people and guiding them to it. I often talk about manifestors their offers are like train stations on the way to that vision. So you maybe don't quite have the vision, or maybe the vision keeps getting bigger and bigger, but you are a few train stations ahead of the people that you're helping. So each train station gets them a little bit closer to that vision. Maybe there's something they have to unlock first to get to the next station. And then they unlock that, and then they get to the next station. Does that make sense? Like, you're leading people to a vision. This creates momentum for people. It creates this community of people that are like, oh my God, this is the vision that I want. They will be your ride or die because they're like, that's the vision I want to. That's what I'm creating. That's what I want for my life. The common mistakes with manifestors is trying to be consistent and trying to show up all the time. Your wave is inconsistent. Your creativity comes online and you're like prolific in what you create, and then you need to take a rest. Trusting yourself in that. When your message is anchored in this vision and you have this train station momentum going, you can take breaks in between. It will not hurt your momentum. It is going to only increase your momentum because you are honoring the way that your energy works, right? And then over-explaining. Manifestors can sometimes get into the but here's what I need to explain to people so they understand the vision. No. The vision is the vision. When you are embodying, this is the vision, this is where I'm going, who's on board? If they're not, that's fine. Your vision isn't for everyone, but you're so convicted in the vision, this is where we're going. If that's what you want, get on board. That's where we're going. I'm going to show you how to get there. You're blazing the trail for people. Your USP framing is, here's the vision. We're going there. Who's on board? What's the vision? It's really that simple. Here's the vision. Who's on board? Train's leaving the station, guys. All right, reflectors. Your niche works a little bit differently because of all your open centers, right? You have all undefined centers. I have never met a reflector that is similar to another reflector, if that makes sense. Like all the other types, you can kind of guess what their type is, and they all kind of operate in a similar way. Reflectors, I found the ones that I've met, they are all so wildly different because you have those open centers, because you are not, I want to say you're not conditioned necessarily by your environment, but you get to show up in whatever way you want, whatever way your soul wants to like glitterify the world. Okay. You're so unique and so dependent on your environment. Any advice I could give a reflector is really pay attention to the environment. What is around you? What are you filling your mind with on the daily basis? The people that are around you, all of that, because it's going to influence what your unique selling point is, what you are known for. If you are in an environment that is not aligned and it's not uplifting to you, you're going to feel like you can't nail down your message. You're going to feel like no matter what you do, it doesn't really matter, right? Versus being in an environment that is very aligned, very supportive, very uplifting, and like you're filling your mind with really good things. You're working on yourself or all of that. And then you will see, this is what I want to help people with. It opens up the door. It allows you to be that guide when your energy is clear. You create a community. I talk often that reflectors are really good at creating a community where they're not necessarily the center of the community, but people come for their advice on something. So it could be maybe you've been working on yourself for a while and you've been healing your eyes, healing so you don't have to wear glasses. I've just like discovered that you could do this, and I need like reading glasses now. And so I'm very curious about, ooh, you can heal your eyes. I don't have to have reading glasses. This is fascinating. So if reflector heals themselves within there and really goes deep into understanding why someone would need glasses to begin with, they can create a community around healing your eyes and giving people, oh, you've been doing this. You've been on screens way too much. Or you, I can tell from what is going on and how you're describing your life that you've been inside way too much. You need to get outside. So you start to create a space that people come to for your guidance, that you point out what they are missing. You point out their block. You point out why they haven't been able to have clear vision. Does that make sense? Like you're creating this community around you. Your common mistakes, though, are forcing consistency, trying to force, especially if your environment isn't in alignment yet. I want your environment in alignment before you make it, like this decision on what you want to be known for. Because if your environment isn't correct, there's no bad path. I want to say that there's no bad path, but what you truly are meant to do in this world is going to show up when your environment is in alignment. And comparing yourself to others is another really, really big one. Like the speed of other people, the clarity of other people, the other people have it all figured out. You have it figured out. You just aren't trusting yourself. So USP framework for the reflector is I reflect what's going on and what's working and what isn't. There we go. I reflect what's working and what isn't so that people can see clearly, so that people can do what? Okay. If you're loving this, I have my Paid for Your Genius is my USP program. It is a private room where we define what you're uniquely known for. What is your USP? How are you putting your methodology together? Really embodying the core of your message so that you can show up, talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about, do what you want to do. When you have this core piece, like solid, it really doesn't matter what you offer, what you put together, your strategy, and it doesn't matter. You have your core, you know what you're known for, and you can go create. That's what we're doing in Paid for Your Genius. Enrollment is open, so I'll put details down below in the comments, but this program is like it's my signature. It's my one the piece that like this, if anything, if you do nothing else, is know what you're known for, your USP. You have to do it. You have to know what you're known for. Otherwise, you will strategy hop and get shiny object syndrome and compare yourself. But when you know what you're known for, you are showing up as that version of you. You are the authority in your niche of one. That's what we're doing when we align your unique selling point to your energy and how you want to show up. That's what we're doing. Really excited for this program. So check out the details below. Also, if you want the next video, the throat center is going to explain how your throat wants to communicate, right? We all communicate in a different way. What we want to talk about, how we want to show up, all of that. The throat center video is going to explain all of that to you and show you what your throat configuration is saying. So go check that out. And that's it. I'll see you guys later.